Hello and welcome back to another episode of the RotoWire Fantasy Soccer Podcast. My name is Andrew Laird, Senior Soccer Editor of RotoWire. Joined on this Monday, November 2nd by Luis Pacheco to talk about Tuesday's Champions League slate. Luis, you had a little time off last week. You didn't get to do both podcasts. How was the little break?
It was good. It was good. I mean, I missed doing the podcast, but it really warmed my heart seeing Matt Bernbach doing the podcast with an Atletico Madrid t-shirt. So that was with jersey, which it was really nice. So.
I'm going to have to get one myself, I guess, because it feels like I'm the only one who doesn't have one. So I guess I'll... that's sharp. Is that this year's?
This is old. This is 2001. This is when Falcao used to play with us. So.
Wow. Does it say Falcao on the back?
No, it doesn't. I have one older one. I have one when Atletico won with Simeone playing. So, I'll put that next time if I find it. So.
Wow, that's impressive. Do you usually go with the no name? You're just a club guy?
Well, I try to go with no sponsor, but it's impossible to find. I found this in the store in Spain. Somebody sent it to me. So, I like a no sponsor. I don't get paid for anything. Well, I get paid for RotoWire, but,
right.
know.
You don't like the huge Bet 365 or whatever on the cross?
No, now they have like a option trading platform. It's like, well, seriously, how's that helping anyone?
That's not how that's not how you choose your option trading platform, by whoever they.
Well, yeah, I guess so. They used to have one of the president of the club is a movie producer, and he used to have an agreement with one of the big studios, and there were some, when there was a movie launch, or they would put the movie on the jersey. There's one about Spider-Man. The jersey's ugly, but it was like a Spider-Man t-shirt with an Atletico Madrid emblem, right? So, but
anything for a few extra dollars, Luis.
Anything, man, anything.
So we're here to talk about Tuesday's Champions League slate, one where I wish I could use a few extra dollars, actually, because not the easiest to fit in all the guys you want. Although, obviously, based on how the matchups are going, there are going to be certain teams we target. Man City, huge favorites at home against Olympiacos. Bayern Munich, also a big favorite. They actually have a higher implied goal total than Olympiacos. Yeah. They're playing away to RB Salzburg.
Yeah.
Then we have Real Madrid home against Inter. Porto home against Marseille. They're pretty close. And then the two closest games are Ajax away to Midfield and Liverpool favored slightly away at Atalanta. Ajax may have no players in this match. They had a huge COVID outbreak this past week.
Yeah.
Or after this past weekend's game. And pretty much everyone that we normally think of when it comes to Ajax did not make the trip. We're taping this, let's see, it's 2:45 p.m. on the East Coast, now Eastern Standard Time after yesterday's time clock change. They apparently are retesting everyone who tested positive to see if they are then negative. If they are, they're going to fly to play the match on Tuesday. So they are apparently out now, but for some way they may be able to play. That's like Dusan Tadic is the biggest name on that list. Although Andre Onana, their goalkeeper, also. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I know it's a big list.
It's a big list.
Dynamo Kiev tomorrow as well. They have a big outbreak. They got like 10, 12 players out. So, I mean, we'll see what kind of lineup they feel, right? So, but
as of now, they are still favored. So there's that. But I have to imagine most people are going to start with Man City and Bayern and go from there.
But if you start there, it's not. I mean,
you're ending pretty quickly salary-wise.
Yeah. It's just I feel that in this case, I mean, you're going to have to make sacrifices in somewhere.
Yeah.
And, it is. I mean, as you say, Manchester City is heavy favorite against Olympiacos at home. I mean, Mahrez has been a little bit disappointed, but he has some set pieces. Sterling is decent price. KDB, obviously the most expensive player. So if you want KDB first, I mean, you want Mahrez and Sterling. I mean, it's going to be hard to fit any of these high-priced defenders, even other midfielders, right? So, I mean, I wish I could tell you that, Bayern Munich is playing away from home, so, they have to big travel, but actually Salzburg is closer than Cologne, so it's like an hour away. It's like, I think it's faster going to Salzburg from Munich than to go from Yankee Stadium to the MetLife Stadium to look at the New York Classico.
Great.
So, I can use that excuse because they didn't look as good in Moscow, right? But this is the shortest away trip I ever seen. So and it's Bayern Munich. So I think Lewandowski have over 70% scoring odds.
I was gonna say, like, when I went through, he's obviously the most expensive player. He's 11-2.
Yeah.
He is minus 305 to score, which is about 75%. The next highest, who's probably starting, is Sterling at minus 118, which is about 54%. So it's like 20 percentage points higher. Yeah. But really, it felt to me that the other Bayern guys were reasonable.
Yeah.
And I can't decide if they're actually reasonable or they just look reasonable because he's so expensive. But if you want to play De Bruyne, I don't think you can play Lewandowski also, unless you're just really punting everywhere else.
No, I don't think so. I mean, this is like you have to make a decision. You want goals or you want floor on sun upside. Because, as you mentioned, between Mahrez and Coman, I'm not sure what to do. Mahrez seems, he has some set pieces, but that is not enough for 8,600.
Mm-hmm.
And at least Coman have some upside. So I feel that, I kind of want Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne was amazing against Marseille, and, it's expensive. I feel like we have those guys. So the Bayern guys, those guys, there is a bunch of dudes at $6,000
there
or
are
around, and you have to pick some of those, right? So we'll go through that after. And then, in defense, I think there is the opportunity cost in defense because obviously is the Liverpool defenders, they are not doing it for us.
No.
Sorry. They're sharing, and also it feels as if, obviously Virgil van Dijk is a big loss, but they have to play a little bit lower now, and they're not crossing as much. You see the numbers against West Ham, even trailing, they didn't have that many crosses or corners. So it is concerning for them. So I might, and then the other side is like, they're not good cheap midfielders. Whereas you can probably score a couple of under 3,000 fullbacks. For the fullbacks might work.
There are some dirt cheap defenders.
So those guys can get you 5 points and might be better than expecting 12 or 11 for Robertson or TAA. So I guess that's going to be the decision, right? And especially if you want expensive forward. So we'll see what we get.
Yeah. So right. You prefer Coman over like Thomas Muller or Gnabry's a midfielder. I don't know why why Gnabry's always a different position, but but Coman is the one you prefer.
Cavani is at a different position. All those guys always play forward, but
right.
I think, price-wise, probably I'd rather have Muller. It just feels that Bayern Munich in Champions League is the new Manchester City in the Premier League. Like, everybody can score, and everybody is expensive. So, I'd rather go and fish in other teams than go play Muller or even Coman. I think if I go in Bayern Munich, it's going to be Lewandowski. He probably wants to score. They rested this weekend.
Yep.
And I know it's expensive, but with 75% scoring odds, it feels like 12 points is the floor. So
he hasn't scored in the Champions League yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. I'm not sure he wants to. So, but I might try to fade it. But you can do it. You can do the Lewandowski, Kevin De Bruyne if you go very cheap elsewhere. So.
Yeah. The interesting thing that I saw was obviously the Bayern Salzburg match has the highest total.
Yeah. But
the next highest is Liverpool Atalanta because both of those teams like to score. Not great defensively, certainly not Liverpool this season. Salah at 8,400 feels a little cheap to me. But it's tough to jump into that when like Coman and Sterling and even Zapata are right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel all those guys. Yeah, I'm so Liverpool as well. But it's like, I mean, if you're gonna play Salah, why not play Coman or Mueller, right? And if you play Mane or any of those, I mean, whoever has Shaqiri, I don't think that's happening. But
Yeah.
or Diogo Jota, it's possible, but I don't think so. I mean, of all those guys, I mean, Ilicic, if he starts, might be a decent bet at 7,300. But as you mentioned, it's just hard because both Salzburg and Bayern Munich play high tempo game, and you saw what Atletico could do scoring goals against Salzburg. So
Yeah.
I mean, how is Bayern Munich just by walking they score goals? So it's just a matter of like if you have the right pieces, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned you can average expensive and all of those. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you either make a decision to go Lewandowski or not for cash. And in that case, you have to go cheaper, which you could do. I think there is some decent value at forward, especially if, as we know, we will see the Ajax lineup, right? Because Quincy Promes might play.
Yep.
He might potentially have the set pieces. I'm not sure if Anthony is available.
I mean,
if Aya has to feel a really, really B team, you can even go with Pionicisto. Right, like he's taking some set pieces at 5,200. I'd rather go with Eden Hazard at 5,700, but that would be my guy. I think Eden Hazard is looking good. Finally, he came back in the Borussia game, and Benzema is not gonna say that he doesn't know how to play. So it's like Benzema and Eden Hazard have a good chemistry. They have a good game this weekend too.
So I started to write my article last night, and I have not finished it because I wrote a whole thing on Eden Hazard, and I thought to myself, I'm just going to cheat a little bit here, and I'm going to wait for the podcast because I want to see if Luis just laughs at me with the idea of Hazard, who I would not consider at all if he was 7,500 or in that range. But at 57, I mean, the matchup against Inter is not the easiest one out there, but like it's fine.
Yeah.
Madrid are at home. Like I
need of points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Desperate need of points and wins.
They lost to Shakhtar at home.
Only 1 point in the group. I mean, if they don't win this game, I mean, the chances of qualifying to the next round are going to be really, really bad.
Really bad, yeah. All right, that makes me feel better. There are still a number of forwards though that there are a lot of guys you can play on this slate. In cash and GPP, like there's no obviously if you play Lewandowski and De Bruyne, you end up getting the much cheaper guys quickly. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think you're going to play Jota even if he starts.
No, I don't
7,100.
think
so. But like Anders Dreyer for Midtjylland, he like takes all their set pieces, 7,000, like against an Ajax team that half of their main, or basically a lot of their main players are not playing, and maybe everyone else has COVID. I was sure you were going to bring up Luis Diaz at 6,900.
I like him, but the thing is that to play Luis Diaz, I think I'd rather go Hazard or one of the Ajax guys like Proms or even Breyer. I mean, I know Breyer, it's just Ilicic only 400 more if he starts, obviously. Mm-hmm. We know it's Liverpool, so it is complicated. But Atalanta at home, we know they never stop. So they have shown that. Whereas Liverpool is being more cautious now, and they're conceding a lot of goals. So
they more than anyone in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I'm probably not playing Lucas Vazquez as a right back.
That makes no sense.
I mean, pretty much anyone below this, you're just like, do I play this guy or do I play Hazard? Like Firmino at 5,500.
Yeah.
You mentioned Sisto, Shaqiri. Like I don't know why you play any of these guys, including your boy 3,800 Dario Benedetto if he starts.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm gonna do Benedetto this week. I mean, it's for 3,800. I mean, I'd rather spend a little bit more on maybe Neres to start, even Soricaba, which is forward.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone but Benedetto, man. at this time, it makes no sense. I think the cheapest. I can do Pion assist if Breyer is not playing. If Evander is like, if I think Pione is going to have the set pieces and Ajax looks really weak, I can go down that way. But for 500 more, I think Hazard looks good. And they need a point, so it's a decent second forward play that I don't feel that bad having. So
yep.
He also have a decent scoring up, surprisingly, for the like close to 40%, which is for 5,700, it's not bad, and we know that he produces. Well, we'll see if he produces, right?
Yeah,
so.
I mean, who knows? I mean, you're obviously not getting any set pieces, and he doesn't even really cross that much. Like, you're playing him pretty much to get on the score sheet. Yeah. Like, he doesn't shoot a ton, but
he gets a lot of fall, and he's
falls down a lot.
It's a team that it's like there's not much, but it could be, and is this are we gonna get the real Hazard finally, or the old Hazard?
Right.
I don't know, but I trust him. He have opportunity. He probably gonna play full match unless something happens, and in a contested match, they're gonna rely on him. So, and again, it's just salary wise 5,700. You can get him, or you can get as we say, Pion assist, right? So it's just not the same. So
do you have any consideration for the Inter guys? Like Lautaro Martinez is 6,500.
No.
Lukaku didn't make the trip, but
Lukaku's injured. So without Lukaku, Inter. I feel Inter without Lukaku is going to struggle, because Lukaku is a guy that kind of like is the organizer, is the Christian Eriksen of the team. Like he takes the balls down, he distributes a game, and they don't have a replacement for him.
No, they don't.
So I don't know. I guess Conte is gonna play Sensi or Eriksen to try to get more control. But against Real Madrid at home for those prices, why not just consider Proms or someone else in a game that is have probably highest total, or is a little bit more open. So
yeah. No, I agree.
At least for the team, I like Hazard because Real Madrid needs to win, and it's at home. Lautaro can get like a counter. Definitely they can, but it doesn't feel like it's a good spot for upside.
I think Hazard fully fits into the cash with flair mantra. He's definitely a perfect example. Going to midfield, obviously De Bruyne 10-9. Is basically a anchor piece of any lineup because he's so expensive. Does paying up so you pretty much need to pay down at both forward spots if you want to play De Bruyne and Papu Gomez. I think Papu Gomez makes like a fantastic GPP play. If that game really is as open as it could be, but I don't see how he fits in a cash lineup when you can play Joshua Kimmich at 8,200, which feels like the most I've ever seen him, at least with Bayern.
Yeah, and then midfielder, Kimmich looks tough, that's the problem. Like if you want De Bruyne, you cannot play it. As we say, if you want expensive forwards, you're not going to be able to play the three of them, right. KDB, Gomez, and Kimmich. For me, I feel that, it's just...
I feel like you're never really a Kimmich guy.
Yeah, I heard me to say this, but 8,000 for Kimmich seems like a lot.
I think this is the price where we're always like, I would pay whatever for Kimmich, and we could do that over and over again. And then he gets to 8,200, and you're like, I think that we're really thinking about it now. Whereas usually with him, when he's like a $7,000 defender, it's just like, yep, plug him right in.
Exactly. Yeah, I think 7,000 defender. Yeah, but 8,000 is just tough, and especially in this slate. You can plug it in at the 7,000 at defender if you have options of forward. But you have Kevin De Bruyne at 10-9, so that's tough. I think still Alejandro Gomez have a little bit more floor than Kimmich, and I know they are favored to win, but still it's a away game. But it feels that it's KDB and then you pick one of the $6,000 guys, and I like Tony Cruz at that price. I think if Marseille plays with one of Thauvin or Payet, you can play one of them.
Yep, I like that.
And I mean, the problem we have is like there's not much for cash after those $6,000 guys at midfielder. I mean, after that it's just barren. I mean, your boy Sergio Oliveira, after killing me last week with a goal that coming out of nowhere, he's 5,100. So I cannot play him at that price.
The worst part is you call him my boy. I didn't even play him in that game.
Yeah, I know. You played it before. I mean, at 3,000 we play, he doesn't do anything.
Right.
Next game, he's not doing anything.
What's crazy is
sure set pieces.
Yeah, what's crazy to see is Hazard at 57 and Casemiro at 5,200.
Yeah, Casemiro have a good game, and he's now. Yeah, he's a sign of times, right? So
I did see that. Who was out for Bayern? Goretzka's out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'll play Tolizo. I always love Tolizo, and I'm like, I'll play him for 4,500, whatever. He's 6,400. Like, you can't play that.
It's more expensive than Payet or Corona. Yeah, which of those guys, Yeah, it will be. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it feels like, all right, so we have. Yeah, I'm not even talking about Szoboszlai. I think that's 7,500 against Bayern. It's just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
And then, all those guys are a little bit pricey. Like Perisic is a little bit pricey at 6,000. Hakimi is not bad. And, revenge game, again, we love revenge games, right?
A lot of them,
yeah. Yeah, but, it feels like against Real Madrid, it's just, of all these guys, I mean, after Payet, for me, I mean, maybe Brozovic is his stars and he has the pieces because he's 3,800, so it's as cheap as I can get. But I guess it will depend, right? If we get cheap defenders, and we potentially would, you can probably pay more for midfielders and just risk it a forward. But I think for cash, it's like you want to De Bruyne, and I like Tony Cruz, and I would like to get Papu Gomez. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, so I'm going to probably have to settle with Payet or Thauvin, one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's really nothing as you move down. I mean, like even Valbuena is really expensive.
Yeah.
Where is he? So, yeah, like he's more than Gnabry.
Yeah.
And Cruz.
I like Cruz.
Like you're not going to pay whatever that was at home against Bayern.
It's tough to pay against Bayern. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's again. I mean, I know Real Madrid's not at the same level, but play against Real Madrid, you have to get lucky. Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely, because we have the somewhat expensive midfielders and pretty much just one reasonable pay down forward, and you can argue how reasonable Hazard really is for a floor.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cheap defenders that seems like the easiest place to make up the salary.
Yep.
I mean, would you have considered any defender other than TA and Robertson though?
I will consider every other defender but Robertson. I mean, it's sad. I mean, in a vacuum, these potentially are the best defenders on the slate. But when you see close to 7,000 for two guys and have been cannibalizing each other, it's been rare that they get over 10 points. I mean, it's like we haven't seen those 20 points, 25 points performances. I mean, yet. And also the other problem is that do you play TAA or you play Cruz or Robertson or Cruz? I don't know. I rather, knowing that the clean sheet doesn't count here, I rather go with Cruz, and especially because if I can get a couple of cheap defenders, we don't know if we're gonna get them, but
I think there are a few that we will definitely get.
Yeah,
definitely, meaning let's call it 90-ish%.
Yeah.
I think the real question is going to be like if you play Lewandowski and De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I think you're probably playing 3 really cheap defenders.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're trying to make up for it. But like because I'm not going to play Robertson and TA, like I'm not playing 5,800 for Marcelo if he starts.
No, you can't. No, everybody else
I was trying to see where's Mendy. 4,500 Mendy if he starts. Like,
no, it doesn't seem good.
Yeah, I mean, I actually went. The first place I went after seeing the injuries from this last weekend was Mojica, who played this past weekend, and sounds like he could start. And at 2,500, like.
Yeah, that would be automatic there. So Mojica definitely there.
And then the Porto guys.
Yeah, Porto guys are, I like Sanusi over Manafa or Sar.
Sanusi's 3,600. Yeah. And where are we putting the emphasis? Manafa is 2,500. I think it's at the end. Oh yeah, there it is at the end. Yeah, I mean 25. You could play Mojica and Manafa, spend $5,000 on 2 defenders, and get 8 points.
Yeah, that's the only way to get Lewandowski, De Bruyne.
Right.
Because if you do that, let's say you can get Hazard, and then you can get 2 6,000 midfielders, so you can get potentially Cruz and I don't know, Payet or Thauvin, which might work for you, right?
I think there is also a path for Daley Blind to get set pieces for Ajax.
Yeah.
And he's only 3,800.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, he's going to be sending set pieces to nobody.
There will be proms too, right? I mean, proms used to take some, right?
He hasn't taken any this season.
I feel that he
Blind's
hasn't, but he hasn't played much.
Yeah, I mean, I think Blind has actually been playing in the midfield recently.
Yeah,
as well,
he is.
Which only makes me think he's more likely to take them than if he was as a center back.
Yeah.
Although that's Aaron Cresswell territory there, but I'm not sure you're getting a lot more from Blind in that game than you would just Sanusi. I guess they're similar prices.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where you end up. If you
I don't know that either. You're right. But you can. I mean, that would be the only way. I mean, getting a Mojica Manafa. That's what I say. You might have to give up on either Robertson or Alexander Arnold because of the opportunity cost.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that. I think at the moment they need to show me before I play them at those prices. I mean, 7,000. It seems fair, but the performance hasn't been backed up by those salaries. So if there will be around 6,000, I will say okay, that'll be fine. But at 6,900, it feels a little bit high.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not compare them to Cruz or Payet or Thauvin.
Yeah.
Like that's. I mean, they're literally in the same price range.
Yeah, that's my comparison, and and it's just a matter of what you feel. Like I feel that Atalanta at home, they play really high. It's not that Liverpool's going to have control of the game, and we see. I mean, I'm expecting something similar to what happened in Ajax, right? Like something more conservative. Considering now that their center backs are not really, it's not Virgil van Dijk. It's just not pretty good. So
yeah.
So it's like I mean, I can see Atalanta dominating the game. In that case, I mean, Liverpool can get there through counters, but that's that doesn't count as crosses anymore. So I mean, they're never crosses, right? But
right.
I don't know. I'm going to be fading. We'll see, and it's just because of their salaries are tough.
Yep. No, I totally agree. And the other problem is that if you play one of those guys, now you have to find a cheap midfielder.
Yeah.
Of which we don't like any of them. Like you're taking a defensive midfielder and hoping for the best. Like it would almost be more helpful if Blind was a midfielder.
Yeah.
Like the one time we actually think like, oh, it's too bad he's still a defender, because he's not playing there. But
I can do Brozovic, but I'd rather not.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd rather not really play Brozovic and. Yeah, that's what we have. I mean, it's a 6 game slate, and I feel I have a cheat sheet with the players, and it's very short. It's a short list of players, and obviously, we need to talk about like another defender like Mazraoui or someone in Ajax might be a good play.
Yep.
Where is the fullback at Midtjylland? Christensen, he's not doing, or Pedersen, or sorry, let me just try to find him.
Anderson, not to be confused with the goalkeeper Anderson.
Yeah, or Jordan, right?
Where's Paulinho?
Paulinho is expensive. I mean, it's the other one.
4,300.
Expensive. Yeah, I mean expensive too. It's not expensive in a vacuum. It's expensive where we need Anderson, right?
Yeah, 3,500.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many of them that are.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have that many defensive spots. So I think one or both. In my case, I feel it is rational and fair to just not play them. I'm going to go with my narrative than Cruz, and that Real Madrid needing points in a contested match is good for Cruz.
Yep, I agree with that.
And if not, you can. I mean, Marseille hasn't looked good, but it's Porto, and Balbuena have a decent amount of points. I mean, I would be more confident for Taubin or Payet if one of the other don't start.
Sure.
So because they cannibalize a little bit each other.
I think one of them is an auto start if the other one is out.
Exactly. When both play, it's a little bit tougher. But they are, those 500, might be the difference between Sanusi and Manafá or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. It seems forward is tough. If you want Lewandowski, it's going to be tough, and we'll see.
Yeah. Is there any reason to not play the Midtjylland goalkeeper at 4,000?
No, I don't think so. I think that's the rational choice.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones who are cheaper are Stankovic for Salzburg against Bayern, and then Jose Sa
against Man
City.
Yeah.
Revenge game didn't work out quite as well last
time.
It
did not. It did not work well at all.
4.3 though. 4.3 points. That's not. I mean, he didn't kill us.
Yeah. No, I think the only choice a goalkeeper is going to be Midtjylland goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say that maybe you have 200 more for Mandanda. Don't.
Oh, don't.
I won't do it. Not done. No, I won't do it. It's just I don't know. It feels like Marseille is struggling. Yeah, I think that's my only choice, a goalkeeper, and it lets you do a lot of stuff,
right?
With them, and we're praying for Mojica. We're we're praying for Mojica to get started because we're back for 2,500. We know he's gonna be good. So we're gonna have to go Manafá, and hopefully Manafá gives you a lot of points.
Play both.
That's gonna be the decision, right?
Yeah, just go all in. I think that's everyone I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I have nothing else. Everyone else is GPP.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. There's the GPP show right there.
Yeah,
everyone
if you score the goals, you win, right?
That's right.
That's easy said than done. So.
All right. Anybody has any follow-up for Luis, you can find him on Twitter at Pacheco. You can find me at RotoWire Andrew. We're also available in the RotoWire Discord, which is open for all subscribers. Just go to rotowire.com/chat to get in there. If you are watching this on YouTube and you like it, can you just please give it a like and subscribe below? And if you are listening to the regular audio podcast, if you could just rate and review it wherever you listen to that. So, Luis, thank you for that, and good luck on Tuesday.
Good luck, Andrew.